What's going on, everybody? This is Set4 here, and today I am back with another college football prediction video. And the game of the week is between the number-ranked 8th team in the country, Indiana, though rankings will change after Sunday. So if you guys comment down below that the rankings aren't right, I put it down right there, as you guys can see on the bottom left corner, that rankings will change. Indiana will be going on the road to face off the second team ranked in the country, Oregon, at home. This game will be played at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which I believe is like 12 o'clock Pacific Time in Oregon, which is the 11th of October. And this game will be very interesting. This is going to be an epic matchup once again. So a lot of upsets today for college football because it's crazy. It's Saturday. Both teams had a bye this week, so made more sense to just post this today. But crazy upsets. UCLA beats Penn State, even though it's at UCLA. And then Florida upsets Texas. It's just been a wild weekend of football. Though there weren't many top games besides Alabama versus Vanderbilt and maybe Florida State versus Miami. But we'll see how that game goes. But hey, it's just been a crazy day once again with college football. So two major upsets in college football potentially could go to the college football playoffs, but it may not look like that for this year for Texas or for Penn State. All right, as a further ado, let's go ahead and go through this video, and hope you guys enjoy as well. If you want, you can skip through all of this and then go at the end and check out the prediction or my prediction at the end. All right, so here comes the slideshow. It is at Autzen Stadium in Oregon. So location, there you guys have it. It's at Oregon and Autzen. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm always terrible with names, no matter what or how many times I try to pronounce names. But yep, the location is at Oregon. I would love to go there one day. That is my dream, to just go to Oregon. I like Nike. I love their uniforms, even though they haven't won anything. It's just so many uniforms for football. But I would love to go there just to visit. All right, last week, or week number 6, I guess you can say this week. So both teams had a bye in week 6. So in week 5, Indiana, I guess you can say, had a drunk game against Iowa, but they destroyed number 9th ranked team Illinois. I predicted Illinois to beat Indiana, but just because I haven't really seen Indiana play top tier teams, but Indiana with Kirk Cinetti and Mendoza and those guys, they always come ready to play no matter who they play against, and they just dismantled Illinois. But this game was crazy. I didn't watch this game, but 20-15 against Iowa. Iowa, though, is that team where if you try to get the college football playoffs or in the BCS National Championship before the college football playoffs, Iowa was the playoffs killer. They always are. They're that weird team that always beats teams that are ranked in the top 5 and will pretty much screw them to get in the playoffs. So they won, or Indiana won 20-15, and the record is 5-0. Pretty solid for them. Indiana is a top-tier team, in my opinion. All right, so Oregon also had a bye week in week 6. In week 5, they beat Penn State at Penn State. That was an electric game. It went into overtime, and Penn State, just their offense was so bad, in my opinion, but somehow they only lost by 6 points. But credit to Oregon for going on the road and for a night game at Beaver Stadium. I mean, that was just electric. Just the whole atmosphere, that game was fun to watch as well. So they won 30-24, and they're also 5-0. All right, so the previous meeting, last time these two teams met was back in 2004. Don't know how accurate that is, but I looked it up on the history between both schools, and Indiana won 30-24, though Oregon leads 2-1 in this mini series. So first time these two teams are actually in the same conference and will meet again this upcoming Saturday. All right, so I'm going to go through the top 3 offensive players and top 3 defensive players by position. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, also defensive lineman, linebacker, and defensive back. All right, so we got quarterback for Indiana. Fernando Mendoza had a solid day against Iowa, though it was a low-scoring game. 13 completions to 23 attempts, 233 passing yards, averaged about 10.1 per throw, had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think they'll do a better job against Oregon, so I think it's going to be a very close game. Then we got running back Roman Hemby. Oops, my bad. So he had 15 carries, 86 rushing yards, averaged about 5.7 per carry. And he had 0 touchdowns. Wide receiver Elijah Surratt, he had 6 receptions, 132 yards of receiving, averaged about 22.0 per catch. He had 1 touchdown. He had a solid day against Iowa. He was their best receiver of the day. Next, we got Oregon. We got Dante Moore. Had a great game against Penn State. He went 29 for 39, completions 2 attempts with 248 passing yards, averaged about 6.4 per throw. Had 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, so a good day for him. Running back Deary Hill Jr. with 10 carries, 82 yards of rushing, averaged about 8.2 per carry. He had 0 touchdowns as well. All right, then lastly, they got a wide receiver, DeCorian Moore, with 7 receptions, 89 receiving yards, averaged about 12.7 per catch, and had 0 touchdowns for Oregon. All right, so the top 3 defensive players by position. We got Tyreek Tucker for Indiana with 6 total tackles, 3 solo, and 0.5 tackles for loss. I guess that's like an assist since it's a half tackles for loss for him. Then we got linebacker Isaiah Jones with 8 total tackles, 4 solo, 0.5 sack, and 0.5 tackles for loss. Defensive back, we got Lewis Moore with 7 total tackles and 5 solo. So there you guys have it for Indiana. We got Oregon for top 3 defensive players. Defensive lineman Bear Alexander with 5 total tackles, 4 solo, and 1 tackles for loss. Then linebacker Bryce Boettcher with 12 total tackles, 3 solo, and 0.5 tackles for loss. And yes, I know I always mispronounce names. That's just who I am. I will never get names corrected, and I'm sorry. So if you comment down below about why I'm terrible, I get it. I am terrible with pronouncing names. Defensive lineman Dylan Thieneman, probably destroy that name too, but 4 total tackles, 3 solo, and there you guys have for the top 3 defensive players for both teams. Lastly, we got full team stats. Total yards for Indiana, they had 337 yards on offense, and they only allowed 284 yards on defense. Passing, they had 223 yards on offense, and they allowed 192 yards on defense. Rushing game wasn't so great against Iowa. Iowa's pretty good defensively. They had 104 yards of rushing, and they only allowed 92 yards, which is pretty solid for Indiana. They only had 1 turnover, 4 penalties, and time possession was 27 minutes and 18 seconds. And lastly, for Oregon, they had 420 yards on offense, and they allowed 276 yards on defense. Passing wise, they had a decent. Penn State is never good at passing, regardless. It's just who they are. They're more of a rushing type team, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Offense, Oregon had 248 yards on offense, and they allowed 137 yards on defense. Rushing, they had 176 yards of rushing, pretty solid. Defense, 139 rushing yards allowed. They had 0 turnovers. They had 4 penalties. And their time possession is 33 minutes and 52 seconds. All right, so this is going to be, I feel like, a toss-up game. Just because, one, they've been a bye week. Though it's at Oregon, I think my safe bet, since it's at Oregon, I think I'm going to go with Oregon here. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I know I'm not trying to disrespect Indiana here. I think it's just a safe bet to pick Oregon. Coincidentally, it's at Oregon, and I'm not trying to be biased here at all. I like Indiana. They're good, but the safe bet here, since it's at Oregon, even though I didn't pick Indiana against Illinois, and they destroyed Illinois, but I think the safe bet right here will be Oregon by minus 5 points. Actually, minus 7 points. My bad. I miscorrected that. So it's about minus 7 points, and the score is going to be 42-35. It's going to be a one-possession game. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. And so there you guys have it for my prediction. Oregon, my spread, minus 7. My prediction, 42-35. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I could be wrong in this prediction. I think Indiana could beat Oregon this year. They have a high-powered offense. Their defense is solid, too. So we'll see how this goes. And you guys can roast me no matter what. So have at it. Comment down below what you guys think. And Step 40 here. Y'all have a great rest of the night. And peace out.